According to John Quincy Adams, if your actions inspires others to dream more, learn more, and do more, and become more, you are a leader.
Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. A quotation from Ralph Waldo Emerson.
That is why, whichever path you take, make it your own path. Do not blindly follow their path simply because it is there. Make it your own adventure. Follow along the best path for you, and if it curves the wrong direction, then find a different path.
A true mark of a leader is the willingness to stick with a bold course of action, an unconventional business strategy, a unique product development roadmap, a controversial marketing campaign, even as the rest of the world wonders why you're not marching in a step with a status quo. In other words, real leaders are happy to zig while the others zag. They understand that in an era of hyper-competition and non-stop disruption, the only way to stand out from the crowd is to stand for something special. By Bill Taylor from the article, Do You Pass the Leadership Test?
Leaders instill their people a hope for success and a belief of themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals.
The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The leader adjusts the sails. By John Maxwell.
The very essence of leadership is you to have a vision. You cannot blow an uncertain trumpet. Theodore M. Hesburgh.
The single biggest way to impact an organization is to focus on leadership development. There's almost no limit to the potential of an organization that recruits good people, raises them as leaders, and continually develops them. By John Max.
Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. John F. Kennedy.
Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. By Steve Jobs, Apple co-founder.
Jim Rohn believes that a good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well, and to help those who are doing well to do.
Ngayong araw mga igala, ngayong araw mga Jara. Here we go again, another episode of fun and engaging learning about leadership.
Yes, Mom Bees, another fun and learning of episode again that we can surely get remarkable lessons as future leaders.
Correct, Ma'am Jara. We have to remember that you don't have to be in a management position to be a leader, and leaders are found throughout all levels in an organization.
Indeed, Mom Bees, leadership plays a major role in determining the success or failure of an organization, and leadership skills can be developed. If you want to be a successful leader, you must work to develop your skills.
As I reflected, Mom, in the previous episode, everyone at some point in their life will be asked to be a leader, and leadership can be learned. Most especially, every organization needs effective leaders.
Great realization, Ma'am Reese. So are you ready to learn more about the different styles of leadership? So come and join us as we continue a learning episode about democratic, coaching, and pace-setting leadership.
Hello guys! Welcome to 4Picks One Word Leadership Edition. Can you guess the word or words based on 4 pictures? If so, then show me what you've got. So here we go. What is the word or words? You got it right. The pictures depict some of the democratic countries in the world. Not bad for the first set of pictures. Let's go to the next one. I hope you get lucky in this. Gotcha! The pictures show acts of democracy. Is it too familiar? I think so, because who else can relate? Of course, we from a country with too much democracy. Time to move to the next one, our final set. I hope you will get a perfect score in this. Correct! Those people are some of the democratic leaders in the world. I think that was a walk in the park. You got it right! You've got what it takes to be one of those people. And to those who did not, watch and learn.
Help us visualize it. We see the democratic leadership style in characters like Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek, Dick Winters, the commander of Easy Company in The Band of Brothers, and Nova Prime, played by Glenn Close in Guardians of the Galaxy. These characters echo what we see in the democratic leadership style. Democratic leaders take a collaborative approach with their followers. Even though democratic leaders still have a position of power and still make many of the big decisions, they prefer to get feedback and input from followers to help leaders shape those decisions. They like to listen to a range of opinions to make sure they're hearing about all the good options. They have what you call a two heads are better than one philosophy. A leader might even test ideas with followers and say, hey, here's what I was thinking of doing. What do you think? Or I've been hearing negative feedback about this external vendor we've been using. What has been your experience with this vendor? In cases like these, the leader may still make the ultimate decision. But at other times, democratic leaders may delegate power to followers when they can, especially when those decisions directly influence the followers' jobs. This is called a decentralized approach to power and authority that contrasts with the centralized approach of autocratic leaders. In other words, as the official leader, a democratic leader still has the right to make decisions, just like the autocratic leader, but instead delegates those decisions and provides the freedom to followers to make the best choices possible. So let's say a department, a team, is about to purchase new computers. A democratic leader would likely give some basic criteria on cost or compatibility, but then delegate the final decision, and each follower would purchase their own computer. I'd like to make an important point about this. If a decision goes badly, the democratic leader is not off the hook. They are still responsible for the outcomes and for the team decisions. So they're not handing their power and responsibility over. They can't delegate their accountability. They just believe the best decisions will be made with lots of input from their followers. In terms of power distance, democratic leaders tend to have more equal relationships between themselves and followers. So they establish a low power distance compared to autocratic leaders. The gap between the leader and the follower does not feel as obvious. To make that concrete, democratic leaders would be more approachable and friendly in conversations and make efforts to connect with followers. They have good communication and might ask followers about their projects and about their lives outside of work and react more spontaneously in conversations. To be clear, democratic leaders still have what French and Raven call legitimate power that is tied to their position, but they don't emphasize that. They tend to rely more on mutually beneficial relationships with followers to have that influence. They trust their followers to provide helpful feedback and to make good decisions. In terms of outcomes, many followers prefer to work for this type of leader. I was recently looking at a 2019 study on the leadership styles of headmasters over the teachers they supervise in the Journal of Education, Teaching, and Learning. And these authors found that the headmasters with the democratic style of leadership had a clear positive influence in handling discipline situations with teachers. It's important to note that the autocratic and laissez-faire headmasters did still address discipline and showed some effectiveness with followers. But the democratic style was the most effective. It was more effective than laissez-faire. And then lastly, autocratic leaders were the least effective. So those other styles still were effective, just not as effective as democratic leaders. Let's look at the ups and downs of the style. We'll start with the strengths. Democratic leaders tend to make high-quality, informed decisions. They gather lots of input, so their decisions are very likely to be supported and executed by their followers. Followers of democratic leaders can get more creative and innovative because they are given room to practice problem solving. Democratic leaders get consistent, long-term productivity out of their followers, and this is a key difference between democratic and autocratic leaders. When an autocratic leader leaves the room, their followers do not work as hard. In contrast, democratic leaders' followers work hard whether they are in the room observing or not. Followers are bought into the decisions, goals, and directions. These leaders have also good communication with followers, and not surprisingly, followers have a high satisfaction level when working under democratic leaders. In terms of drawbacks, we see mainly weaknesses in certain situations. So first, when a situation is high pressure and time is short, like a crisis, maintaining the democratic style probably will not help much. If something suddenly happens to an organization, it might be the best response is the quickest response. And sometimes that means a democratic leader is not going to be able to take a lot of time to gather input and feedback. They're not going to have the luxury of collaborating in a situation like that. I like to use the metaphor of professional sports. When there are just a few seconds left on the clock and your team is down by 1 point, that's not the time to have a long, democratic, collaborative discussion. A democratic style is not going to fit that situation. A second weakness shows up in the situations that sometimes require a judgment call on the part of a leader because consensus is not possible. And you may have to make a decision that fractures the harmony of the group for a while. A third weakness shows up when you have a follower who is not particularly trustworthy. So if the leader is a team player, but the follower is not, the democratic leadership style may not be as suitable for that follower. Overall, though, the democratic style is largely viewed as the most effective of the three styles we're looking at. Most research sees it that way, and most people with practical experience see it that way too. It doesn't fit all situations equally, but it's a solid leadership style for most people most of the time. So my question for you is, does this sound like your style of leadership? If so, you're probably off to a good start. Most followers will do well under your style. Just recognize that some situations may call for another approach.
Good day, my friends. Also to Nancy and your friends. You've asked me about the type of democratic leadership that I have been following. Maybe there are just 3 points I can share with you. The first one is that to listen, to consult, to have meetings with a group before making any final decision. And sometimes even to make first tentative decisions so that you can double check with the group whether this is according to their liking. In fact, that is how we have been preparing our pastoral assignments for priests every 3 or 6 years, that we also give assignments of new parishes for them, but before that, we also double check about their own suggestions and their own circumstances. So we give 1 or 2 preliminary assignment lists, and finally we double check with them. A second point I think to keep in mind is that it's better to run organizations in terms of management by objectives. That means there's no need to follow every single step of or follow procedures all the way, but just to look at the end results. If the individual staff member or parish priest is doing something great and you see the benefits by the objectives that are set before him, then give him the flexibility and let him do whatever he wants. And that is the third point that I think in terms of democratic leadership, we should first trust the people around us and under us, and that we can trust them with full confidence and support in terms perhaps of listening to them, providing any resources that they might need, and also going with them, accompanying them in their own efforts to accomplish something. So these are the 3 points: to be able to listen well and to consult, to manage by objectives, setting the objective, the end result, and evaluating that. And thirdly, also by always trusting the individual under your care. After all, we are in community, we are trying to work together and to be co-responsible for the things that we are doing together. So all the best in your own class, Nancy and your friends. May you continue to also learn more about democratic leadership. All the best.
Leaders take a collaborative approach with their members even if they have a position of power. They prefer to get feedbacks and input from their members. This kind of leadership is also a good listener because they will make sure that they will listen to you, and also they believe the saying that two heads are better than one. We all know now the democratic leadership. This time, let's go to the coaching leadership.
What does great leadership coaching look like? First, leadership coaches focus on one thing and one thing only, helping you significantly accelerate your development as a leader. Leadership coaches are not therapists, counselors, or life coaches. Leadership coaches do not provide advice on personal relationships or on balanced lives. Leadership coaches are neither sounding boards for the myriad of organizational problems, nor scratching posts for complaints about your unappreciative boss. These coaches are, however, single-minded in helping you identify ways to increase your impact as a leader and taking action to ensure that this happens. Second, coaches expect great things from you. Leadership coaches are not there to help you craft a stunning slide deck, fine-tune your personality, or select your next power suit. You will not be coddled by a good coach. A good coach will challenge you to engage in a rigorous process of honest self-assessment, deep personal exploration, and highly committed action planning. Coaches expect you to make a major shift in your performance as a leader and invest the time and effort required to do so. Third, leadership coaches work only with successful leaders. Quite frankly, if you're failing miserably as a leader, coaching is not for you. Remedial coaching rarely works. That being said, a good leadership coach will encourage you to let go of those much-loved behaviors and attitudes that may have made you successful in the past, but are likely holding you back from achieving your next chapter as a leader. Fourth, coaches are your most ardent and fierce advocates. Everything a coach does, from confronting your assumptions to identifying your unused strengths, is done in service of you and your career. Coaches are unwavering in seeing your potential for extraordinary leadership, even if sometimes you do not. Great coaches will confront you when you sell yourself short and will settle for nothing less than your very best as a leader. Fifth, coaches insist that you always be moving forward. Becoming a better leader is a difficult journey. You will experiment with new leadership concepts, test your values, and reframe old relationships. You will certainly stumble along the way. Criticism, self-doubt, and failure will haunt you, but a good coach will challenge you to reflect, learn from the experience, and keep moving forward. Sixth, coaches will tell you things others will not. Without increased self-awareness, leaders cannot grow. Substantial, sustained development can only occur in an environment that is rich in feedback. This is pretty obvious. Here's the tough part. You are wrong. No matter how self-aware you think you are, your perception of your leadership impact is wrong to some degree. This is true for all of us. Coaches help you gain a fresh perspective by providing you with sometimes hard to hear, raw, unvarnished feedback that is nearly impossible to obtain from those with whom you work every day. While coaches use very potent 360 assessments and other forms of organizational feedback, good coaches are particularly generous with their personal reactions, feelings, and critique. Seventh, leadership coaches are not easily impressed. Save your time and energy for more fruitful pursuits. Don't bother trying to impress them with your strategic thinking, articulate speech, creative mind, and personable nature. Those are all wonderful traits and abilities. However, coaches believe that leaders are measured by one thing and one thing only: their positive impact on their teams and organizations. They'll ask you questions like this: do others perform at a higher level because of you? Are they more aligned, more engaged, more committed, more innovative? Do they produce more? Are they better leaders because of you? Show us a marked improvement in these things, then coaches will be impressed. Eighth, coaches rarely provide advice or recommendations. Even though most coaches are pretty smart, educated, and experienced, any advice or recommendations provided by them will pale in comparison to those generated by you. Coaches believe that you are creative, resourceful, and fully capable of finding the best step forward for you as a leader. Coaches will walk with you, challenge you, encourage you, confront you, provoke you, and affirm you throughout the process, always having great faith in your ability to chart your own future as a leader. Ninth, unfortunately, leadership coaches have no easy answers for you. While good coaches respect the vast amount of research and writing in the field of leadership, they are not going to refer you to a bestseller promoting this month's nifty 5-step leadership model that promises to turn you into some remarkable amalgam of Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Jack Welch, and Mother Teresa overnight. What coaches will do, however, is to continually ask you to consider the 4 timeless questions that all leaders must confront. Number 1, have I really earned the right to lead? Number 2, do I really help others perform at their best? Number 3, is my team extraordinarily innovative? And number 4, do I create alignment throughout my organization? 10th, leadership coaches have dangerous conversations in the crucible. Some coaching programs offer you a safe environment in which you can freely and confidentially discuss a wide range of issues. However, the best coaching sessions are distinctly unsafe and in fact are quite dangerous. Not dangerous because you are at risk of being hurt, but rather because these are crucibles in which unimportant issues are quickly burned away and full attention given to those issues that are most important to your success as a leader. It is in the crucible conversations that leadership passions are renewed, failures are forgiven, legacies are planned, relationships are reframed, and careers are redirected. Great leadership coaching might best be described as constructive confrontation with heart. It should be one of the most demanding experiences in your career and will be one of the most rewarding.
Alright, so I think everybody has a great morning. This very wonderful morning. Alright, what did they learn, guys? Do you know anything in the Bible?
Yes!
Good. Now, name anybody from our class for today. Women in the Bible.
Elizabeth!
Alright, very good. Sarah! Sarah, very good.
Rebecca!
Okay.
Naomi!
How about you, John? Alright, this time, if you know that the Bible, the women in the Bible, we're going to sing and dance. Those women in the Bible, do you want to sing and dance?
Yes!
Alright, the song would be like this, and also we will have little put into an action. Okay, the song would be like this. Okay, listen ha. If the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can live like Deborah lived. In the Spirit Spirit of the Lord is within my heart. I can live like Deborah lead. I can lead, oh Lord. I can lead, oh Lord. I can lead like Deborah lead. I can lead, oh Lord. I can lead, oh Lord. I can lead like Deborah lead. Okay, let's sing it together. 1, 2, 3, go.
When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can lead like Deborah lead. When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can lead like Deborah lead. I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead like Deborah lead. I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead like Deborah lead.
Okay, so if Deborah, the first one is Deborah, the second one is Martha, and the third one is Mary. So we lead, we serve, and pray. Now let's move on to the action. Okay, everybody. Okay. So the action will be like this. The first one, when the song says Spirit. Spirit. And then Lord. Lord. Okay. Then the first one is lead. Lead. As a teacher, left, right. Right, so right. Okay, lead. Okay, again. Spirit.
Spirit of the Lord is within my heart. I can lead like Deborah lead.
Again. 1, 2, 3, go.
When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can lead like Deborah lead.
Okay, so next again, sumpay na dayon. Serve, si Martha serve, and then si Mary pray. Okay, so serve, dayon, pray. Okay, so we'll start with Deborah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can lead like Deborah lead. When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can lead like Deborah lead. I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead like Deborah lead. I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead, oh Lord, I can lead like Deborah lead. When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can serve like Martha served. When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can serve like Martha served. I can serve, oh Lord, I can serve, oh Lord, I can serve like Martha served. I can serve, oh Lord, I can serve, oh Lord, I can serve like Martha served.
Okay, last one.
When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can pray like Mary prayed. When the Spirit of the Lord is within my heart, I can pray like Mary prayed. I can pray, oh Lord, I can pray, oh Lord, I can pray like Mary prayed. I can pray, oh Lord, I can pray, oh Lord, I can pray like Mary prayed.
All right. Year 6 now.
Congratulations, Miss Yana. You instill good values to your students by starting your lesson with a prayer. Ask God's questions to your learners. You did your best to deliver learning to your pupils despite of pandemic. I would like to suggest next time to plan and deliver your teaching strategies in response to the needs of your especially as indicated in number 2 of our rating sheets. And make sure that you integrate your lesson across the curriculum, and it should be reflected to your lesson plan.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy teaching.
Hello, good day, dear friends. Ma'am Nancy asked me to share my ideas about coaching type of leadership. When I think of this kind of leadership, I think of the scaffolding approach of helping people, of 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 of, of guiding people. In the scaffolding approach, we give assistance to the person. As a leader, we give assistance to the person depending on the type of need of the person, which means that if there's a greater need of assistance, then we also give greater need of assistance. But then this kind of need will be withdrawn once it is not anymore needed. So that's my understanding about it. The coaching type of leadership builds on the premise that the members are inherently good, that each one has its own capacity to share what is good for the community, which means that this is an opposite of top-down kind of leadership. It has it believes on the goodness of each one, that each one is capable, which means that this type of leadership is more on empowerment. So we empower the members because we believe that each member has its own contribution, it's capable. So shared responsibility among its members. I hope that helps. Thank you very much.
I so like and love the coaching type of leadership. For me, this simply means that leaders coach teammates or members to enhance themselves and to become more developed. Of course, from the skills and different capabilities that they already have. Coaching, it is at the same time guiding and helping every individual to be more effective and efficient and becoming more aware of his or herself. That includes his or her strengths and weaknesses. For me, I really do believe that in coaching, we grow and develop together. In coaching, in our own genuine and little ways, we embrace our uniqueness, and together we build a happy and harmonious relationship.
my channel! For today's video, we are going to Alaska! Are you all excited? Because I am! A friend of mine will interview her respective principal of Brevig Mission School of Brevig District, Alaska. She will be asking a few questions about pace-setting leadership. Let us all welcome my dear friend, Teacher Chona. Hi, Teacher Chona!
Hi everyone, classmates, good day. Dokoni, good day to all of you there in the Philippines. I am so sad this is take 2 already of my video because I accidentally delete the voice of my first recorded, and then what left is only the video without sound, so I have to take again. I am done with that supposedly, but it's good that the meat of this video still here because it's in different slide. So I will make you a tour first outside my school where I am now. We have a blizzard started this 3 a.m. this morning, and still we are having the blizzard outside now. We see I hope I can take it just a few seconds. Are you ready? I will welcome you now in Brevig Mission School. Welcome to Brevig Mission School. We are having a blizzard this time. We are surrounded with snow, and the wind is so strong. I just want you to make a tour in the school. I'm gonna go in. The wind is so strong. This is the entrance door. We have our double door. This is the second door. When you enter here, you will see right away the comments where the students eat their breakfast and their lunch. But as what you can see, there are pockets here because it's almost 36 days without water here because of our frozen pipes. That area there is for high school. And the left side here, we have the elementary. And as of now, the gym is open because there are students who have their practice in their basketball, I guess. I'll try to see if there's someone inside. I am ready to show you the school gym. No people inside. This is our school gym. That door is for the elementary speed room. I'll go back there in the high school now. I am wearing the cleats because I'm supposed to go home now. That door is for the mathematics room. That's my room. And the English room. That one is for the SPED class high school. Individual lockers of our high school students. They will put their jackets and boots because they cannot bring it inside the classroom. More or less, we have 50 students in the high school. That door is the only middle school included in the high school, the grade 8 level. That closed door with an art. There's the social studies room and art room. We have our emergency exit door. This one is for the science classroom closed also. We have our gym door also accessible for the high school students. We have our male CR and the female CR, but CR here is not being called as CR or comfort room. We do not know about that, but they call it as bathroom. This is only a short tour inside the building. We are only 4 classrooms in the high school: the math room, the English room, the science room, and the social studies room. This is my classroom. I am using the whiteboard. I am also using the smart board. And I have something here to enlarge my objects clearly for my students. Students have also individual Chromebook. I have only 6 students in my first hour.
Hi everyone!
A good leader is always ready at all times, even at the middle of the night. I am happy now and privileged to let you see and welcome in the Philippines my own principal here in Bribig Mission School under Bering Strait School District, Miss Ginger Diane Crockett.
Hello, I'm Ginger Crockett. I'm the principal at Brevig Mission School up on the Seward Peninsula in Alaska, and I'm here today to talk about pace-setting leadership. When you engage in pace-setting leadership, one thing you need to do is be a role model for your staff and everyone around you. This means having a positive attitude at all times, even at the toughest of times. It also means doing the tasks that need to be done, no matter what they are, if it helps and supports your school. And it means valuing your teachers. If you value your teachers, they will value your school and you will become a school community together. Where would we be without our teachers? They are of utmost value to us, and that will carry on to our students. You also need to focus on performance and results. At Brevig Mission School, we do this through our staff meetings. We meet weekly and are consistently doing regular pieces of professional development. When we do our professional development, someone does some teaching or training, and then we spend a lot of time talking together and sharing ideas and learning and growing together, which creates a lot of cohesion and the feeling that you can accomplish anything. Lastly, you need to focus it on excellent output. Teachers need to know the expectations you have for them. They need to be defined, and you need to share those. Then you need to follow through and observe if teachers are able to do what they've been asked to do. And if they are, celebrate, because that's wonderful. And if they aren't yet, meet with them, talk with them, help them grow. Teachers have so much potential that they may not realize until you tell them what the next step is and help them get there. So that's pace-setting leadership.
Pace-setting leadership is when the leader sets an example of high performance, high pace, and high quality. This kind of leadership expects his or her members to follow his or her track to achieve what they want to achieve, and it values results more than anything. If you want your members to follow you, be a good role model or sample.
The following program is rated G. It is suitable for all audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special episode, Who Wants to Be a Leader? Handa ka na ba? This time, we will call our participants. First, we have Jezreel Baelio. Next, we have Noreen Labalan. Next, we have Sheba May Europa. And our last participant for this show is Lou Ernie Torres. Welcome to our new episodes, Who Wants to Be a Leader? Handa ka na ba? Okay, this time, let's check first your buzzer. Let's start with Lou Ernie. Next, we have Sheba May. Next, we have Noreen. Next, we have Jezreel. There are 10 questions. I will read the question twice, and the first one to hit the buzzer can answer. If your answer is incorrect, the other participant can steal. Are you ready? Let's have our first question. Which function of management decide the goals and objectives for the company? A. Staffing. B. Leading. C. Organizing. D. Planning. Again, which function of management decides the goals and objectives for the company? Is it A, staffing, B, leading, C, organizing, and D, planning? Okay, we have Jezreel.
Letter D!
Letter D, planning. You got it right. We are now down to our last question. Whoever gets the correct answer will be declared as our winner. The question is this. The government leader has been convicted of taking bribes for special favors. Under pressure from the people, he decided to resign. What style of leadership was used by the government leader? Is it A, autocratic, B, democratic, C, laissez-faire, or D, pace-setting? Go! We have Noreen.
Letter A?
Letter A, autocratic. The other participants can steal. We have Lou Ernie.
Pace setting?
Letter D, pace setting. The other participants can steal. We have Jezreel.
Letter B, democratic.
Letter B, democratic. You've got the correct answer, Jezreel. You are our winner. Come on down, Jezreel. Okay, thank you participants for the great job. You've done your best well. Now, we will give the prize to Jezreel. That's the big one from SM Downtown.